Hi kindergartners, my name is Miss Struble and I teach at Franklin Elementary, and I'm here today to help you practice some tricky words. Your job today will be to read tricky words and write tricky words. So let's look at the three words that are going to be in the story that we're going to read about Sam. Now today I want you to pay extra close attention to how these words look, because at the end of our practice you're going to need to write them. Okay, let's look at the first one. It's only one letter and it's the letter A. Usually when we see the letter A, we say a or a. This word is tricky because when I read it, it makes the sound. So when I'm reading, when I see an A all by itself, I'm going to say I'm going to underline the A to help us remember that it is tricky. Okay. The next word that's going to be in our story about Sam is the word one. When I spell the word one, I need O-N-E. Let's say the sounds the way we learn them. We know that O can say ah or O. So that doesn't sound right because when I say the word one, I hear a W sound. So I'm going to underline the O to help me remember that it's tricky. We know that N says N, and when I say one, I hear that N sound. The N is not tricky. I'm going to circle it to help you remember that it does do its job. Okay. The last letter in one is the letter E, and we know that E can say or E. When I say one, I don't hear either of those sounds. This E is tricky, so I'm going to underline it. This is the word one. The last tricky word that's in our story about Sam today is the word the. And Mrs. Phillips helped you practice this word last week, but we're going to look at it again. This is the word the. If I say the sounds the way I know them, it sounds like this. T, h, t, he. And that doesn't sound right. When I look at the word the, I see a T and an H together. And we know that when a T and an H come together, they can say th, or they can make a buzzy th sound. In the word the, they have the buzzy th sound for the T and the H. We know that E can say or E. When I say the, I hear an sound, and that is not the sound that an E usually makes. So I'm going to underline the E to help me remember that it is tricky. All right, let's look at each of the words again. And you say them with me. Ready? One, the. Great job. All right, let me mix them up. Here we go again. Ready? The, one, Great. Now, for the next step, you're going to need a paper and a pencil or something to write with, and you're going to need to write these words. Let's look at them one more time so that when it's time to write, you'll know exactly what to write. Ready? One, the. Great job. Have fun reading today.